And welcome, and here we are, everybody, today with Google AI Mode. It has actually launched in New Zealand, even though they officially announced it about a week and a half ago, but it is now actually working. Now, I don't know, you'd have to check if it is working for you over in Australia and Southern Africa, whichever country you're actually in. They have launched it, they said, in 180 countries, but there was certainly a delayed rollout over here. So don't panic, it's on its way. If you want to access it, you can simply go to google.com now, and you should see this little AI mode symbol over here. You could also type in google.com and then do /AI mode as an option. And then there is just some clarification that I wanted to make with you around just what the differences are for those who aren't actually clear. So for those who have been following me for a while, you'll know I've been going on about this for quite some time now. But this is the old way of AI search, of general searches. So what you would normally have done is do Queenstown hotels, your list. This is what we call the blue links list. This all appears here. You got your Google Maps, you got your advertising, etc., and you scroll down and you click through. Now, my point being here as well, as I always say, lots of results, up to 7.5 million for that one. And effectively, we are going to be shifting into this AI mode facility now. They did do a transit over in AI overviews for those who aren't familiar with that. It didn't come up all the time, but effectively it's still around. So this is what you'll sometimes see at the top of your searches. They'll have blue-eyed penguins, for example, general information, and you get this little AI overview, and you can expand it down. There's a little show me more button, and it expands down, pushing the blue links further down the page and onto the next page. Now they've transitioned into, or are transitioning into, this AI mode facility. And this is very much like ChatGPT, Perplexity.ai, and Gemini, and Claude for those who are used to it. So this is the new way of AI search. And just to give you the heads up, the word on the street is that this is actually going to be the default AI search engine in time. Now, this does concern me for you as providers, as accommodation providers, tourism providers, any business, to be honest, because there are a lot fewer options in the AI mode than there are with the general searches. So what I'm going to do is, I just thought I would do a bit of a test run with you guys today so that you can get an idea of what it can do, just a bit of a demo, because I've been talking about this for quite some time. And I do deep dives for those who are not members. I do deep dives on this in the AI Marketing Club on how to be cited in AI search, how to be found visually in visual searches, voice searches, AI search. Okay, so if anyone's interested, you're very welcome to come and join us there at the AImarketingclub.com. But for now, I just want to sort of walk everybody through what it can do, at least in New Zealand, for now, as if we were actually being a tourist. So I'm just going to say, okay, I'm looking at coming to Queenstown around the 13th of September for about 4 nights, and want to be close to a pub where I can watch the All Blacks play the Springboks rugby around, I don't know what time it is. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay, so here's one of the things here. This has got something called Google's fan out query. So effectively what happens is you can ask up to 10 different kind of questions all in one go, just like you're talking to a person or a travel concierge. And what happens is each of those little AI bots run off and go and find the right information. So it could be that I'm asking for 4 nights in a hotel, and it could be a 4-star hotel. We might put some more information in here. In a 4-star hotel, you might want lavender pillows. You might want to have gluten-free breakfast options, whatever your thing is. But in this instance, I want to try and keep it relatively simple just for time purposes, okay? So I'm going to 4 nights in a 4-star hotel that offers free parking, okay? That offers parking. I don't think you can get free parking down in Queenstown. If you're outside of Queenstown, yes, you can, but I don't think they even offer free parking these days there. So that might be a bit of a stretch. So what would happen is in the fan out query, one little bot would go off and look for the accommodation that offers maybe parking and other ones for pubs that are close by that are ideally showing the All Blacks. And yeah, now let's see. Now it's telling us what it's doing versus the Springboks. Okay. So I'm looking at coming blah, blah, blah. If you're planning on coming to Queenstown around this 13th for 4 nights to watch it's important to note the game will be taking place in Wellington. Oh, just so that, okay. So here we go. Let's have a look for Queenstown because it's obviously got to be inside a bar. Well, not necessarily, but in this case, I specified that. So it would be the Locker Room Sports Bar is known for showing the All Blacks. Okay, let's see what other. As for 4-star hotel in Queenstown for 4 nights around the 13th with parking, proximity to the pub, you've also got several options. Okay, the Copthorne, okay, located near the city centre. The Queenstown Park Boutique Hotel, okay, that's about a 5-minute walk. Kamana Lake House, which is located further from the city centre, and Brown's Boutique Hotel. Okay, interesting. Additional considerations, booking in advance, match timing, okay, that's 7:05, alternative viewing. So you see now what you can actually do is you can continue asking questions just like you would a travel agent, a travel concierge, whatever you wish to call them. And this is the important bit to remember. The AI goes off and does the research and then pulls the answers back into here. All right, so this is interesting to me because as a local, there's a couple of places there that might be a bit of a walk to the locker room. What is interesting is that only one bar came up. Now, we have many pubs, and I know of at least 3 where that match is being shown. In fact, 4, thinking about it. And it's interesting that only one has actually come up. Now, let's have a look over here. Are the All Blacks rugby fixtures? So it's really focused on accommodations. Now, this is what I wanted to show you here. It's pulling up Expedia. What is interesting to me, guys, look here, Copthorne, Queenstown Park Boutique Hotel, Kamana, and Browse Boutique Hotel. This one has got a link. Let's go and see what that link is. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I've clicked on this link here. And what are we getting here? Expedia, Booking.com, 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 TripAdvisor. The issue that I have been having for quite some time, and I've been trying to draw attention to this for several months now, is that the OTAs are getting favored. And the reason being is that all these models, like let's try and do the same search. Let's go and do this, okay, in something called ChatGPT. Let's just whip over there and just see what our options are in there. If we were doing apples for apples, what do we get? Okay, let's go there, okay, and let's see. I am looking for that. Yes, so it's exactly the same. So let's see what it will come up with in here by comparison to what we had in Google AI mode. We might just close that so we don't have. But here's my point, guys. 7.5 million results. Now we come in here. How many results do we have, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's my big issue that I have been trying to raise awareness now for over a year and a half, because my concern was if you're not one of these 4, what does that mean for your bottom line? This is very, very, very big news. If you do not get cited in here, guys, this is going to definitely affect your bottom line. And what's more is that this is so personalized, hyper-personalized. For example, I've asked for a very specific rugby game on the 13th of September. All right. If you haven't catered for all of those variables and optimized in AI, now please don't make the mistake. A lot of people make the mistake of, well, I've had search engine optimization done. Guys, that is relevant. Yes, you still want to be having it done. So don't get me wrong. In fact, you have to do supercharged SEO. All right. But this is primarily for SEO is primarily geared towards blue list linking. Okay. We're now shifting into the zone of voice searches, visual search, and you've got this kind of search where you're typing in or asking the questions directly into an AI search only engine. And this is what you get, right? Okay. So let's actually have a look here and see what the options are. So the ones were Novotel, okay, Holiday Inn Express, Scenic Suites, Queenstown, and Millennium. Okay. Do we have any lapovers there? We've got Copthorne. So Copthorne and Millennium are part of the same group. So that's interesting. So they are obviously doing something there that is working. Pubs that show the game, the Locker Room. Okay, so we now obviously in ChatGPT and we are getting the results here that had exactly the same prompt that I had in Google AI mode. And it just gave us more options, hasn't it? It's given us Novotel, Holiday Inn, Scenic Suites, and Millennium Hotel. I do know Millennium and Copthorne are in the same chain. So that's interesting that there's an overlap there. The Locker Room has come up again. Now, interestingly enough, the Spates Ale House has now come up. I did a big presentation to the Ale House franchise, and this was highlighted as an example. So it's really good. And however, it's picked up that it's coming from Facebook. So this is interesting, guys. Please pay note that it is pulling from all sources, not just your website. Multiple platforms, social platforms are doing their own optimization within their own platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they all want you to close the deal on site. Okay, so this is how it's moving forward. Pub on the wall, poke my hands. Okay, whereas we only got one option in Gemini, in Google AI mode, I beg your pardon. Right, so now I've done exactly the same query, and this time I've done this in Perplexity.ai. Now, interestingly enough, it hasn't got the pictures there. Not too sure why that is. But effectively, let's have a look here. 4-star hotel, Scenic Suites, Copthorne has come up again. Holiday Inn, Morrison's, Irish Pub, and the Locker Room. So Locker Room's obviously doing something well there, as are the Copthorne stroke Millennium. All right. But my point here, guys, again, being, is that have a look here. Let's go to the top. Okay. 7.5 million results. How many results do we have here? 4 in this one. How many do we have in here? 4 in this one with only one link, by the way. All right. Now let's go over here. 1, 2, 3, 3 hotels and 2 pubs. All right. Now here's the thing as well. It varies depending on which AI search engine is being used. Okay. So if you are going after a lot of Americans, Perplexity might be the one that you want to focus on. Now, Perplexity, it's going to be multimodal. They are doing images as well as videos, just so that, okay, so if there's anything available, what I do like about Perplexity as well is obviously that they have their places. So it puts it on the map for you so that you can see where you are in relation to the bars and the hotels. So, for example, if you're wanting to go to the Locker Room to watch it, you're within crawling distance of staying at the Browns Boutique Hotel. So that's probably your best option. And I know the owner, he's really lovely, so I would recommend it. Little plug just for him. Okay, but effectively, it gives you an idea of where to go. Now, just let's have a look at the images. Here's what I want to pay attention to. That is lovely that all of this at the moment is going to the individual websites, okay, which is what I am liking about Perplexity at this point in time. However, they are looking at having their own AI search engine. So the benefit of Perplexity is that it pulls from both Bing and Google. So you've got the best of both worlds. So that's one of the reasons that I quite like it, is because you've got that balance, and it also goes directly to the websites. It often does it tells you what the sources are, but I do want to draw your attention to the fact that it is pulling up places like what if, etc. It gives you all the idea of the sources, but at least it's a mix at this point in time. Now, is that going to change? We have to keep our eye on the ball on that one, okay? Normally you have, when I go back to the answer here, they normally have extra questions that it could be other answers for. So it'll be further questions that sometimes people will ask. And oddly, they haven't done that in this round. So let's see, anywhere where there's free parking. Let's just see if it'll pull up those extra questions. But my overall point here, guys, is that you've got very limited options, okay, as a rule. Can you see it's 1, 2, 3, and then they've got the 3 bars as well. And yeah, we don't need that. No, it's still not giving me. But normally it goes through the questions that people have asked, all right? So we are moving into that multimodal kind of search phase, where there's going to be a lot of emphasis on videos, a lot of emphasis on the images, and you're going to have to optimize for AI search specifically. As opposed to this lovely long list that we've had before, we're shifting into this kind of scenario. And as you can see with Google, it is very limited, right? Okay. Now, I just wanted to show you as well the other side of ChatGPT. This is the agentic AI that is coming. And now some of you will know about this and others won't. But effectively, this is where the AI goes off, does the research in more deeper dive rather than just a general search, which is what we originally had done here. I didn't trigger the agent side. I just did GPT search, and that's the results. Okay. Now this agentic side is where the agent goes off and does deep dive research, and it brings up availabilities. It looks on various websites. You can specify dates. Now, I did a demo training on this. You can go and check it out on my YouTube channel, or if you're in the members area of the AI Marketing Club, you can go and watch it in there as well. But effectively, where it is going to, the goal is that it will eventually take the booking within the AI. Once again, not going to your website. So my biggest issues that we've got, obviously, with ChatGPT, they've integrated with the likes of Kayak and Trip and all these big guys, Booking.com, etc., and they take a percentage cut from those partners instead of doing ads in ChatGPT. Right now, with Google, they are cementing, and this is why it was interesting to me. What are they bringing up? It was Expedia, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Booking.com. So you kind of have to ask the question, why? And only one of these links actually is going to a website. Why? Okay. If you aren't Brown's Boutique, okay, in this particular instance, any of these guys, I can't click on any of that, can I? So how do I actually get to that? Okay, so let me say, okay, let's see what happens. Has platform got availability? See, at the moment, we haven't got that agentic capacity yet in Gemini, in Google AI mode. So let's see. So online travel agents like Expedia and hotels.com. Okay. You'll need to check your specific dates on the websites or contact them directly. So let's go and have a look there. If I click on that, what's that? Okay, now it's giving me the Copthorne information. Alternatively, if I click here, what's going to go there? Okay, now it's going to the actual site. So at the moment, this is looking relatively positive. However, I did have to specifically ask for me to get that link, didn't I? So this is my point. This is what's concerning me a great deal, is that I'm finding that these OTAs, the Booking.coms, etc., TripAdvisors, are being favored over everybody else. And these there's definitely going to be a drop in your traffic if you haven't already seen that in your analytics. You ask your designers or your programmers or who or go into your analytics yourself. What I loved about what Google were saying is that you will see more bookings and conversions when you're showing up in the AI overviews or in these AI mode searches. And I was like, well, yeah, Google, if you're showing up, you got 4 as opposed to 7.5 million. So you're going to have to work pretty hard. And if you don't know how to do that AI optimization, guys, that is what I do in the AI Marketing Club. That is one of the things. Now, we have AI capability training that shows you how to save time and money, but we're going hard after AI search so that you guys can be picked up in these AI searches or at least maximize your chances. Because the next thing we're going to be up against is that the OTAs are going to be predominant in these areas because they've got back-end deals with these guys, all right? And that concerns me deeply, if I'm honest. So we're just having a look here with Chat particularly has got a lot that have already been partnered up with them. And this agentic AI is the next thing where the AI agent will take the booking. The goal is within the AI search itself, not on your website. So at the moment, it is going to your website, sometimes, depending on which one you're using. In this instance, when I did this test last month, when the agentic came out with ChatGPT, we were finding that it was falling over because they don't have the integrations and the facilities to take the full booking within Chat. So, for example, say you wanted to book a restaurant. They have done deals like with the likes of Open Table over in the States. So if those restaurants are tied in with Open Table, then you would have it showing here, obviously, if they've got restaurants in that town or that city or whatever the case might be. At the moment, we don't have that kind of integration, back-end integration yet with those LLMs, those large guys, but it's going to come. So it's a case of whoever takes your reservations, are they integrating directly? How can we make sure that you guys aren't going to get nailed with commissions, which I fully suspect will happen? And how can we circumvent that? So just keep your eyes peeled on future trainings with myself. If you're serious about being seen in the space, your limited space that you've got here, all right, I would highly recommend that you join the AImarketingclub.com to get you and your team geared up, because this is serious. It's going to be game on, as you can imagine. Just think about how many hotels and how many accommodations are just where you are if you're in tourism. How many restaurants are in your area? If you are in a very remote area and it's small and you've only got 2 or 3, you've got a good chance of coming up. But if you've got hundreds or more, and you've got all those personalized variations of people asking those different queries, like in Google's AI mode, you can ask up to 10 questions. And they're very specific. It could be, I've got chili allergies. I've got whatever it is, lavender pillows. I want free parking. I want to be close to the ski fields, whatever it is. If you're in Africa, it could be, I want to do this cultural thing, or I want to be close to whatever, etc., etc. But adopt what I've shown you here and just think about how this would actually work in your area. Go away and test. Now, I would just have a wee caution here. Some people get well excited because they can see themselves coming up in these searches when they do their search. You might be doing a search that your guys may not. For example, like I was saying, got a friend who's got a very rare chili allergy, and if they're looking for a restaurant and they've got a kid that's got a gluten-free concern or celiac, and they're looking for a pasta restaurant, goodness, God forbid, but anyway, just say they would be very, very specific. So what are those particular terms that are actually being searched on in those search engines in order for you to be cited? The second thing, caution I would say, is even though you are showing up here, that may show that you have done a lot of search engine optimization, but there is another layer of AI optimization which sits over and above that. And that is now moving into natural language programming. That's moving into machine language programming. It's very personalized search. There's a lot of video imaging, optimization. AI can see. There's a lot of components here that even though you may show here now, those who implement AI optimization will most likely in time overtake you and push you out of the ranking. So I do sometimes have people where they get a little bit complacent because they go, oh, well, I'm there now, so I don't need to worry about it. In that specific search, perhaps for now is what I would say. So those who are going hard after your terms and going all out on the AI optimization or generative engine optimization, as some people like to call it, they are the ones that are actually going to win. And how do you optimize in the OTA so that you're one of the recommended if they are being pulled up, like Expedia, Booking.com, etc., etc. So this was what we were finding in the States, is that the predominant listings, accommodations with my counterparts over in the States was that it was Expedia, 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 and you've got to question why, okay? They are really wanting to monetize this. So here's the rub, guys. This, mark my words, will become your default search engine. So have a look up here. Already we've got AI mode, all, okay, images. Okay, now you might notice this is similar to what we've got over here, all right, images. Okay, so let's just look at some comparisons here, guys. When you go into Google AI mode, this is going to be your default search. I mean, look, they're already mimicking what we've already got, aren't they? It's images, videos. I think we've got maps and flights, okay? And they're just transitioning us, aren't they, over from one into the other. And it will become our default, mark my words. So you need to optimize, not for the old way, for the new way of search, okay? So the images, as you can see, let's see if they are similar. Look, yes, they are. So you've got TripAdvisor AG. Okay, now let's have a look here. Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Facebook. Okay, individual one there. I think so. Interesting. All Booking.com. All, yeah, not your own at this point in that particular search. Let's be clear. Then let's have a look at videos. Now this was interesting. Have you noticed something? TikTok, and TikTok, none of which are relevant. Okay, interesting here. Short videos, we'll go with that because that's similar, isn't it? Okay, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's becoming huge. Lots of shorts. Now you can optimize all of these for AI search, guys, if you know how. All right. At the moment, don't know what's going on there, but it's only pulling from TikTok by the looks of it at this point in time. All right. And you do have this as well with not chat, but in Perplexity. You've got images and you do have videos when they are relevant. Okay. They normally list them on the site. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that, guys. Look, there's a lot missing, isn't there, with this Google launch? But what is obvious is that you're limited in options. Few, if any, are going to the websites themselves. They are giving preference to these OTAs. How can we have it where you guys are showing up in these AI searches? If you want to learn how to do all of that stuff, guys, come and join me in the AI Marketing Club. I will be doing trainings as well. And if you're not ready, at least follow me on YouTube, on my social channels, so that you can keep your heads up above the water and be at least aware of what's coming down the pipeline for you and any free trainings if there are any. But if you want to get serious about it, come and join me in the AI Marketing Club. And for all my lovely members who are already members, you are so wise. Well done. And I will give you some hot tips on how to start optimizing for this as well and it will be it really will be an ongoing process. So hang in there, guys. I just wanted to give you what's available for now. Okay. I don't want to overload you with too much. And then we'll start breaking this down into training, specific trainings, hardcore trainings that will teach you how to be shown up in AI search. So very interesting. exciting times to come, also a bit nerve-wracking for others. And I've also, by the way, got podcasts coming up with specific guys that bypass the OTAs and directly link into LLMs. So keep your ear to the ground for when I announce those. Very exciting. All right. See you next time.